Well, hello, folks, and welcome to the next project. And it's actually gotten chilly, so I haven't gotten time to go outside, smoke, chill. So this is actually practical. The next project is a clock. Here are the display, and here's all of the parts. And this one is, of course, you can see a through hole practice board. So this will be pretty easy as long as I put the stuff in the right location. You notice that my hand is causing the out of focus. That's probably what's causing the problem in my DJI camera, which of course looks like I'm probably gonna have to end up getting another one. That one's old and it's acting up. So depending on what I get, of course I'm looking at either another DJI, getting a GoPro. So I mentioned in the other video while I was doing the soldering introduction, back in my 20s, I was pretty heavy into, not pretty, I was into RC racing, RC car racing. It was basically stadium. It wasn't the I guess on-road sedan RC car. There was stadium trucks, and I did it for about 3 years. And yes, you had to do a lot of, because back then it was NiCad batteries, and NiCad batteries are notorious for expanding, bursting, at worst catching fire. Connectors coming loose off the batteries, wires stripping, coming loose from the motor, electric motor. So a lot of stuff you had to solder back on to connectors, resolder joints, resolder cables, stuff like that. Of course, I had I think it was a Weller that I had back then. It's just one soldering iron that I had, and it wasn't particularly expensive for back then. And of course, it was I guess it was pretty popular where I'm at here. Anytime there would be about 20 to 30 people who would be at the race site. Normally, it was at a hobby store, or if a guy was nice enough and he was into the RC racing, he would. Of course, the racing I did, of course, stadium truck, which is off road, and usually it was in a circle. So that's easy. You just made one big circle, pour some dirt on it, have the folks who come over, and it wasn't free. The fees were usually around $10, so it wasn't too expensive even for 10 years ago. And my rig wasn't mine. Of course, my stuff wasn't the most expensive. There were guys who were out there that looked like they spent a lot of money. In the 3 years that I did, I probably spent about. Make sure all the parts are here. Yeah, there's a lot of course, there's going to be a lot of LEDs because, I think the LEDs probably go behind this here. I don't think this, let me take it apart. Nope, this here has its own LED. Of course, there's a bent pin, which I'll have to straighten out. A couple of bent pins. All right, but that's okay as long as it doesn't break off. You can always bend pins back. So that will be my, RC, my foray into RC, and of course me coming back and trying to learn soldering. Of course, like I say, in my youth, me and my brother had the soldering iron that we didn't really solder with. We just burnt a lot of wood. So, and of course after that, I put the stuff up. I threw everything away basically because I don't have any of my RC stuff anymore. The closest I came back to getting back into RC racing was a co-worker. He's a little bit younger than me. He's 10 years younger than me. And he's like, hey man, I heard you said that you did RC racing. I said, yeah. I said, well, I do it, man. You want to join up? Go on. Yeah, and of course he went to same deal. Even now and of course with COVID, who knows? This conversation I had with a coworker was before COVID. So who knows? Because most of it was at hobby stores, and who knows? Many of these hobby stores, probably didn't survive and had to close down. So who knows how the RC folks or how it's doing right now. I'm pretty sure it's getting back up and going. But oh yeah, also there's a, let's see here, there's a really small writing instructions. So there's instruction sheet, like super small writing. I'll have to use a magnifying glass to read it, and of course the diagram. And I would not scan that QR code, you know, with these made in China. They'll probably take you to some CCP hacker site. And it's like your phones now belong to us. But looking at the, and of course there are videos of guys on YouTube who's put this clock together. So I've already checked out the video. So let me get started. This shouldn't take me about an hour to get done. Or if I, goof around while I'm doing it. It is a hobby, and it's not I'm doing it for a job. Oh yes, and it does come with a USB power adapter, so that's nice. You can plug it up. It does have surprisingly, it says it has an alarm, has a timer, and of course a clock. And I don't know if the clock is in 24-hour or if it's in standard. 1 through 12. Oh, let me see here. See if I can read it. Let's see, it is a 6-bit digital electronic clock DIY kit. The integrated six functions: time, alarm clock, calibration, no idea what that is, countdown, stopwatch, and counter. Okay. I guess that counter would count up. I'm not sure what the calibration is. Okay, so user can set alarm as your needs. Okay, that's correct English. Usually these made in China kit. This one's actually in English, surprisingly. But usually if you put it in English, it's usually like really bad English. It's easy to operate, beautiful design, very suitable for home or office environment. So yeah, the instructions are actually in English, and so is the diagram. But again, I wouldn't scan that QR code. You've been warned. Okay, well that's it. Let me start on it. Once it's done, I'll be back. No, I'm not going to do I guess my first assemble video would probably be something that's very simple. This one is a little bit more. Oh shit! Did I break something? Oh, well. I don't have any extra resistors or capacitors, so if I break something, that's it, man. All right, let me get done. I'll be back. All right, folks, welcome back. So I finished this clock, and about to see if it actually works. Actually, before we test it, there are a few snags that I guess I'll explain. Of course, in my case, the pin on this, I guess, controller chip, I guess the housing broke. So it wasn't the pin on the chip itself, it's the pin on the housing, which is this piece of plastic here that it's pushed into. You had to, do some soldering, finagling to get it to work. See here, if you put, this here is for a 12, this here is for a 12 volt. I can get my hand out of the way. I'll try to put my hand down flush so that it doesn't go fuzzy. So this 12 volt connection and this USB power connector, yeah. So they give you two options. You can go with 12 volt with the battery, or a USB. What you want to do, because what I did is I put this one in first, soldered it in, and then realized that when I try to put the 12 volt connector in, they rubbed up against each other and it wouldn't fit. So the way to do it, I had to, of course, desolder the USB connection, dry put them in, and then use clamps to hold the pins, and then hold them in place, and then solder it, and that's how I got it in. So it's just a FYI, if you do this particular clock board, is this, you're going to run into problems here, because it's very, very, very low tolerance here. So you got to put them both in and then solder, because if you do one and then solder and do the other one, it's going to be a real tight fit. I think I get everything in. I think I don't, and yeah, now I don't know what these are. It's ground out and ground in, and I have no idea what they connect to. But since it was there, I put it there. As for this bridge, just use an extra leg because I got extra resistors, and so when you put the resistor in and you clip the legs, just don't throw it away just yet. At least keep one or two, so that you can they don't supply an extra little wire for this little bridge right here. And luckily I didn't throw the legs away yet, or the extra clippings away yet, and then you just get one, or you could probably use a staple. It looks like it would actually fit a staple, but I didn't. I was like, well, I'd rather use something that is conductive. I don't know, staple's probably conductive. All right, let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Let's plug it in. Like I said, I'm saying it's a 90, and yeah, and of course the paper that came with it has no instructions on how which S1, S2, S3 buttons does what. Oh shoot. Well, I might have to use DC battery because this won't. Oh, never mind. There it goes. Right, hold on. Plug in my battery pack. Turn it. Hey. Oh shoot. Smoking. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Is it the board smoking? Or is it smoking from, oh boy, yeah, it was smoking. Okay, let me get my third arm. Yeah, so that was plugged into a battery pack, so it wasn't plugged into like a USB, because I have the USB it plugs into the wall. Okay, let's get it off. Well, the board, it shouldn't be that hot. I mean, it was smoking, which means if it's smoking, which means I probably crossed a connection or something, or maybe it's just hot and it's smoking the solder. I don't know. Let's see here. Maybe I should go for DC. DC to be safe. Well, technically, this is DC. It's plugging into a power pack. And I don't know what this hole is right here. Maybe I should solder over it because it looks like something should plug in there. But yes, I can smell the burning plastic. So, did I bridge something? No, I don't think I did. All right. Here we go. Let me get the arm. All right. See here. Okay, third arm, do your trick. All right, here we go again. And it's dead, so I think I fried it. Oh shit, it's smoking again. Yep, it's smoking again, so another failed. Well, actually, yeah. Let me try battery. Let me try the 12-volt method. All right, get rid of the third arm. Don't need it. Okay, I think I screwed it. Screwed the pooch. Yeah, anytime your electronics start smoking. Yeah, it's smoking right here, or the smoke was coming from right here where the USB plug goes into. So yeah, like I said, it was probably, like I said, the tolerance between these two connectors was real tight, and I had to like really push it in real hard to get it to get the pins to go in. I don't see any burnt or any. I don't see anything burnt right here or any smudges. Well, let's get the battery. Although I think I did. Yeah, and get the little screwdriver, my little micro screwdriver. Yeah, I can still smell the burning plastic. That might have been too much voltage. I forgot. I think it's the USB that I got plugged in is. I think that the port is 2.1 amp. I don't know. That might have been too much amp, and I fried it. I don't know. See here. I'm going to assume it doesn't say which side is positive or negative. Let's see. Well, we will find out. All right. Positive. Yeah, this board feels warm, so something definitely cut. I think that's positive. Okay, so positive. All right. Yeah, and of course I got these ends soldered. There's no way I would be able to get these into these little dinky slots without frailing the entire ends. Let's see here. I'll try the other end. Yeah, and these are 18 gauge cable that I'm. There we go. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I think that USB was too strong and it fried it. I should have plugged it into the. I think one is 2.0 amps and there's a 2.1 amp. I think 2.1 is the strongest. That. Whoa. Okay. It's coming on, but it's frying. Yeah. I'm using a 9-volt battery. Yeah, you hear that crispy sound? Yeah, it's. I don't think I bridged anything in the back. Yeah, I think the clicking noise you hear is the speaker or is the board frying. Come on. Well, yes, I smell the burning plastic big time. It's not going to catch like flames. Smoke is all you're going to get. There's really no risk of me getting electrocuted, especially with the 12-volt battery. Even with the battery pack, there was little to no risk of electrocution. That's the reason why I didn't plug it into one of the USB wall plugs. I was like, okay, I don't want to electrocute myself. Come on. Yeah, I think it was a combination of that. Yeah, it does feel warm. Of that leg breaking off on the controller chip here, and me soldering it on. That shouldn't have done anything to it. It was pretty solid. I don't know where I goofed up. I think I got everything on there. Could it be this? Like I said, I could have just used a stapler. Let's see here. I don't think. Yeah, because if I flip it over, ooh, that was hot. Yeah, this USB plug thing is like hot. see, where is that? Right there. Flip it over. Okay, so yes, this connection, it connects to here, runs to here, which is a transformer. So I don't know. I think I did pretty. I don't see any scorch, but that's the thing with electronics. You know, if you see smoke, you won't necessarily see any singe or any burnt marks on the board, on underside of the board, because a lot of time the let me undo the. This is a fail, so this will be going into the trash. It's really no use keeping. There's like see here, there's one extra, two extra resistor. There's two extra blue resistors, and two of these brown capacitors. That's extra parts. And again, I don't know what this is or what I'm supposed to use for this, jumper here. And buttons work. Yeah, I said that there's a 90% chance of it. I should have said there's 90% chance of it blowing up instead of 90% chance of it working. So I'll probably try another clock later on as another project. So for now, this one will be going into the trash, the trash bin of failure. Yeah, I should keep a little box, probably a big box, throw all the failures into the failed box. And yeah, I don't know what this is. Maybe I should solder that. That might fix it. But again, I didn't cross. Let's see here, no crossing. Yeah, this is the battery pin for the battery. These three are the pins for the USB plug, power plug. Like I said, I had to desolder these to take this USB plug off to get the DC battery, the DC power, this little blue thing to work. Let's see here. Yeah, I got these capacitors on there correctly. Actually, these are. Well, these aren't capacitors. They're actually. Yeah, these are capacitors. These are, I guess, pretty big capacitors compared to these little brown ones. I might have put something on here wrong. I don't know, but everything seemed to have gone in. It's fine. Well, let me try the USB one more time. Let me try it in one of the. It's probably too late now. It's been fried, and it's on. No. There's no, yeah, I better use this, so that I don't. Yep. Yeah, these ceramic tips, tweezers, slippery. Yeah. It's a no-go. Okay, well that's it. It's like it is a failure, and I guess on to the next project. I guess once it gets in the mail, I'll start on it. I'll probably try doing a board put together. Let's see here. Could probably save this, because this will probably work in some other USB, so at least I got something out of it. So I guess I'll save this USB power plug, and use it for some other stuff. Well, there we go. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Until the next success or failure, hopefully if you're getting into soldering, I would definitely suggest, starting with soldering, practicing on wires, and get lots of rows of solder. I recommend getting 6mm, 1mm, and if you want to get a third row, get a 1.5mm. Especially they're really good for doing wire soldering. The 1mm and 1.5mm are really good at doing wire soldering. The smaller little dinky 6mm, these are good for board soldering, rather it's the through hole or SMD. But the 0.6 millimeter wires are smaller. I wouldn't go any. Well, actually, I don't have anything. You can go smaller than 0.6. What I'm saying, but the smaller you go, the more you're going to have to. So for me, I don't feel like having to feed lines of solder just to get one joint soldered together. So for me, 0.6 works. All right, well that's it. Thanks for watching, and another fail.